world of pain. This brown-throated sloth just took down a fully grown crocodile, and if that doesn't scare you, it should. You see, the average sloth tops out at about 31 inches tall and weighs just about 14 pounds, with a set of 3-inch long claws on their front feet. By comparison, American crocodiles can reach up to 20 feet long and weigh as much as 2,000 pounds. Seems like a one-sided fight, right? But this is no ordinary sloth. Not only is she freakishly strong and impervious to damage, but she can drive a car, use a computer, and possess superhuman reflexes. And she's about to single-handedly hurt humanity to the top of the food chain. Just like the croc, these creatures might have bitten off a bit more than they can chew with this one. She may not be as big as King Kong, but this sloth definitely belongs on Skull Island. And as we're about to find out, taking over her natural habitat is going to have devastating effects. Anyone who crosses her path, that can stay unless of the media of serious harm. And as long as that will all be ready to relax here, however, she means sloth and exotic animals are encouraged. She explains that a lot of people are being controlled by the she's not sure that she's ready for that kind of commitment, but he hands her his business card just in case she changes her mind. It is moving, and Miss Rihanna, her sorority housework at Sigma Lambda Theta, is already campaigning for a re-election. But this is the year that things are going to change, because Emily has her eyes on the presidential suite. 30 years been stopping Rihanna's account, and she finally caves to the pressure to receive a picture of her brooch next to a tiger. Looking at the business card, she tells me and David looking for an exotic creature for us. He tells her to come to her. She is unsurprised. Future sale and fully demand for this on social media, right? Obviously, instead of taking the sloth home, Emily here needs to contact the police right away. And that's for several reasons. For one, it looks like this guy, Oliver, is dead. And if the police find her with the sloth, then she could end up as a murder suspect. Also, the pets on his website are worth tens of thousands of dollars each, which means that someone dangerous might come after her to get their investment back. By reporting this to the police, not only would Emily be keeping herself safe, but they could help her get in contact with a rescue center that can set her sloth and the rest of the other creatures up with good lives as well. Now, as far as the dealer here, first off, he's totally had it coming, so it's hard to feel bad for him. He made a huge mistake by not giving the sloth her sedatives, but also should have never taken that poor animal out of her home in the first place. With that being said, the sloth may be strong, but she's still only 2 feet tall. In a life or death battle like this, he should have just body slammed her straight to the ground. Hopefully, this would be enough to let her go, and then he'd have a few different options for what to do next. He could try to give her the meds, grab a weapon to defend himself with, toss her into the fireplace, or just run for his life right out of the house. Emily here might think that she's doing the right thing, but this sloth's blood-fueled rampage is only just getting started. Back at the sorority house, one of the girls tells Brianna that she overheard Emily is planning to run against her for house president. That's when Emily walks in with the sloth in a cardboard box, and Brianna immediately goes to confront her, trying to keep the animal a secret. Emily tries to brush her off and sneak upstairs, but Brianna yanks it out of her hands, sending the box flying over the railing. When the other girls see what's inside, they're absolutely blown away by how cute the sloth is. Emily quickly runs down to make sure that she's alright, while Brianna only stands there with her usual smug attitude, making her look completely heartless in front of everyone. Brianna immediately tells her that she needs to get rid of it, saying that pets aren't allowed in the house, but Emily cites a loophole in the rules, arguing that she actually wants to make the sloth their house mascot. The decision is put to a vote, with an overwhelming majority of the girls voting to let the sloth stay, but they're going to regret the hell out of this decision. Sensing that this is her moment, Emily officially notices that she's decided to run against Brianna, and she already has a lot of support. Things are going great for Emily so far, but that's when Maddie here shows up to kill the vibe. She agrees that the sloth is cute, but rightly points out that it's a wild animal that belongs in the rainforest and not a sorority house. As she gets up to take away a flower that it's eating, the sloth lashes out at Maddie's hand. Furious, she storms out of the room after telling her friend that she needs to do the right thing by handing the animal over to professionals who can give it a proper home. Maddie's not the only one who wants the sloth out of there. Downstairs, Brianna is holding a trial to figure out which one of her loyal followers dared to betray her. Turning on this girl, Sarah, she confronts her for supporting Emily in the vote and orders her to get rid of the sloth by any means necessary. Emily starts to think about bringing the sloth to an animal shelter, but quickly changes her tune when Zenny here points out that she's already blowing up all over social media. It's everything that Emily ever wanted, and Zenny manages to convince her that maybe they can give the sloth a better home here in America, where she's safe from predators and won't have to fight to survive. Now that the sloth is here to stay, they even decide to give her a name, calling her Alpha in honor of the sorority lifestyle. She also found Alpha's bottle of medication, with the label saying that she needs to take 1 pill every 8 hours. While getting ready for a party later that night, Emily finds her laptop open to a news report about the exotic animal seller's death, and a note from Maddie urging her to take Alpha home. Ignoring it, she gives Alpha her medication before leaving the room, but that's when things take a turn for the worse. Okay, I hate to break it to you, Emily, but there's a huge flaw in this plan already. See, she's just seen a news report of the seller's house being raided after he was found dead, which means that the local police are clearly involved in the case. This means that if Emily and her sloth continue to get too popular on social media, then it most likely won't be long before the police put 2 and 2 together and eventually find her out. Then, not only will they take the sloth away, but she'll probably end up facing criminal charges as well. Emily really needs to just listen to her friend and turn Alpha over to the rescue organization, where they can take proper care of her before she ends up in trouble with the law. By the way, Alpha Alpha sounds more like a code name for a secret government project than a pet, which, as we're about to see from what happens next, is actually pretty accurate. The moment that she's gone, Alpha jumps into a chair and starts searching around on Emily's computer. It turns out that this sloth isn't just super strong, but she's also remarkably intelligent for her species. While scrolling through Emily's social media, Alpha finds a photo of the day that she and Oliver met for the first time that immediately triggers flashbacks to how the man used to abuse her. Furious, Alpha spits out her medication, and now her rampage is about to begin. The party is already in full swing when Emily comes down with Alpha in her arms. There's a bunch of new girls there who want to join specifically because of Emily and her sloth, so she goes to make some connections and hopefully earn some future votes, leaving Alpha with Sarah for now. Seeing this, Brianna gives her minion a look from across the room, signaling to her that it's time to make the sloth disappear. Sarah sneaks outside unnoticed, reluctantly following her orders. She leaves Alpha out in the rain at the foot of a tree, but she has no idea that she's about to become the sloth's next victim. Sarah's feeling guilty, so to get her mind off of things, she immediately grabs this random guy and brings him upstairs, telling him that she'll be right back. She heads into another room to get some protection. Alpha here managed to get back inside through an open window, and when Sarah puts her drink down on the table, the sloth drops a handful of her sedatives into the cup. The moment that she takes a sip, Sarah collapses to the floor, unable to move a muscle. And that's when Alpha strikes. As lightning flashes outside, Alpha crawls across the room towards her helpless victim until she's finally standing right over her, powerless to fight back. Sarah can only watch as the sloth very slowly reaches out with her claw until she quickly snaps her wrist, slashing at the girl's throat multiple times. Okay, congratulations, Sarah. It takes a special kind of stupid to be killed by one of the slowest animals in existence. Leaving that poor little sloth outside in this environment could have easily been a death sentence. So, looks like you got